It's been great. Yeah, everything's been really smooth and pumped to be back here.
And congratulations on all the happenings.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Super excited.
Christian, can you just take us through how are you feeling and just how has the recovery been, not only from, what bothered you early in the year, but also late in the year?
I'm feeling great. Yeah, I mean, it's been such a smooth process, a lot of hard work. As soon as that injury happened in Buffalo, I was that was my goal, was to not miss a day of OTAs, be back ready to go with nothing hindering me, and that's where I'm at.
About when did your knee feel like normal?
It went by pretty quickly. I don't remember the exact date, but I got to a point pretty early in the offseason where I was training full speed, ready to go.
Christian, this business is so, teams change every year, but it seems like this offseason was pretty extreme in the amount of guys you lost. What was it like sitting back watching all that?
It happens every year. I think it's always tough watching guys that you love and respect go on to other teams, but at the same time, that's the business of this league, and I think everybody in our locker room is pretty familiar with it. So you just, onward, continue to grow as a team, grow as a unit, and bring in the new guys that we get in and have them, try to get up to speed as quick as possible.
Christian, curious to know how the vibe is with you guys, being that you guys have now kind of come together today. GM John Lynch saying that everybody pretty much was here today. How good does it feel to have everybody kind of show up, or most of everybody show up here today?
Feels great. It's such a good turnout. It was great energy on the field, in the weight room, and meetings. So hopefully we can continue that. But definitely exciting, and get those first day, a lot of first day juice. So that was a lot of fun.
A lot of the focus this offseason, at least for us, is on Brock Purdy and his contract. He's here. What's the vibe around him? What have you guys said to Brock, and just how is he approaching everything?
No different. That's business is business, and that stuff we don't even talk about. We just continue going on as if, he'll be our quarterback. And so for us, it's just about training, getting better as a team, gelling as a unit, and just continuing to grow.
What does it say about him as a leader in command?
Says a lot about him. Yeah, no, it's definitely good to see him here and working as hard as he is.
What was your take on Isaac Rendo's rookie season and just the evolution that he took last year?
I thought it was great. I thought, to watch how he grew throughout the season, a lot of times as a back, just getting the reps is so valuable. But, to see him in the meeting room and how he approaches the game, how hard he works and how good he wants to be, he's definitely somebody that pushes the pace in the room, and I'm excited for him this year.
Can you tell that he's got a background as a receiver, just how he, does the routes and practices there?
Well, I think he has such a great skill set, such a versatile skill set, and that's something that Bobby T's always harping, is be a complete back, and so it's a great room for him to be in.
When Isaac was drafted, he told us he was going to drive you crazy with questions. Has he done that? Has he utilized these resources?
Yeah, he definitely has. I think for me, though, it's a lot of times my answer is I'm getting coached, by the same guy you're getting coached by, and I learn just as much from Coach T in these meetings as they will, and they're being thrown so much information, and so sometimes more information as a back isn't always good. And so, but I definitely give my 2 cents where I feel like it might be needed. But at the same time, it doesn't matter what year you're in as a running back, you learn from these guys too. They're coming off of college, and the game evolves and does different things, so you can learn a lot from them too.
Your single-mindedness in terms of your preparation and how you want to play is so well known. I'm curious whether these huge life events that you've had, you got married last year, now you got another one coming up. Does that change your perspective at all, or how do you fit that in?
Huge life events, obviously there's some big ones that have happened in my life, but those happen every year. It's just sometimes it's what people know about and what they don't, and I think that's, whether they're good or bad, I've had a lot happen in my career, and so it's the part of it where you have to, you're a professional, you come to work every day, you work really hard, and then when you get home, you're a husband, you're a soon-to-be father, you're a son, you're a friend, and to be able to separate those things, I think, is pretty important.
Christian, is there a different, and maybe it's too early to say, but like a different mentality? I mean, for several years, you guys have had a bullseye, like Super Bowl contender, favorite. And now, because of all the guys that have left, I think a lot of people around the league probably view you guys a little differently. I mean, can you get a sense of the vibe? Is there a different mentality of we're going to show them?
Yeah, I like that mentality that we have, and I kind of like the narrative going around because, those are the kind of stuff where you can prove them right or prove them wrong, and I think we got a committed team and a team that's ready to gel together and realize that it's going to take all of us, and that's how it should be showing up, and so I'm excited about that.
Is there like more mentally and emotionally refreshed this offseason as opposed to since last year went so late and the Super Bowl loss, and now it's a different approach?
Yeah. Yes.
Couple more?
Do you feel that way personally, like you come off an injury and people say, as you get older as a running back, does that get into your mind that you're like, okay, I'll prove them again?
Really for me, it's about just proving myself right. I've been here before. I've been counted out a lot of times in my life, and so it's when I start to focus on just outside voices, I lose control of my own life, and so I know what to do. I know what it takes. I know how I'm supposed to feel in order to be, the best me I can be, and just happy I feel like that right now.
What excites you or makes you more nervous about being an expecting father?
I don't know. I've asked so many different people different questions, and I think everybody has their own experience. So I'm trying to prepare as much as I can, but then just go along for the ride. I'm lucky. My wife's been a trooper all off season. She's been making it look easy, and I know it's not. So, but I couldn't be more excited.
Christian, just to clarify, I think you implied this, but just to be sure, your expectation is that when you guys do on-field 11-on-11 stuff, you have no restrictions?
Correct. Yeah, I have no restrictions right now.
How's the off season been for you?
Off season's been great. A little too long for my liking, but it's been good. Just trying to get better every day. Spend a lot of time with my family. A lot's happened, obviously with the team, but just looking forward to having everybody back and building this thing up from ground zero. We got a long road ahead of us.
How challenging is it? I know you weren't really excited to see one of your closer teammates go. How challenging was that seeing, the off-season free agency?
Yeah, no, I think every year it's really tough because, even though you get into a season and the team might seem like, this is the same team as always. Every year you have guys who leave, and it is a new team every year. But obviously this year we did lose some guys, especially Dre, like you mentioned. That was a tough one for me. But I'm so excited for him and his new journey over in Denver, and everything that he's going to do there. I think he's just getting started, right? And so that leaves spots available for other guys to come in and compete for those jobs, right? And that's just the NFL. That's how it goes. So I'm excited all the way around.
Did Saleh have a address for the defensive players only today?
Yeah, no, it was he addressed the room, of course, just kind of letting everybody know, how excited he is to be back in the red and gold with the good guys again. And it's crazy that he only knows about 3 or 4 guys back from when he was here last time. It's a whole new group. And so all of us, man, we're all here trying to just get to know everyone again, build that camaraderie and just build from the ground up. It's a whole new team, whole new group, regardless of some of the familiar faces. So it was good to get that all gas no brakes. All gas no break at the very end. So it was good.
There's some pictures of you meeting with draft visitors on social media and stuff like that. Do you pay attention to that? Your rapport with Dre was so close and so productive that do you give them input on linebackers, somebody that might be playing next to you for the next 5 years?
Give who input? The team?
Yeah. Do they ask for your takes on guys or anything like that?
No, they don't ask me for anything. They say, Fred, you better show up ready to go. That's my job. But no, I'm so far removed from the college game. It's hard for me to keep up with a lot of these young guys that are coming in. It is cool to meet these guys, and it brings me right back to that moment when I was coming here on my 30 visit, and kind of try to chat them up a little bit about the process. And I'm like, listen, like it's long, it's monotonous, all this traveling and everything, but just, it only happens once, so try to enjoy it. But yeah, I'm excited, man. Thursday is going to be a big day, the start of the draft and bringing that new crop of guys in to join our team and start building this thing up.
Today, John said, can you tell if a guy's a dog, like you're talking to him and you're trying to evaluate the mental side of it? Can you tell?
it's hard. It's hard for me to tell, right? I'm only talking. I'm only talking to these guys for a couple seconds, right? Enough for them to ask me for a picture or something. So I have no idea. But I've always said that I do not envy, that job that John, Kyle, and all these scouts and all them that they have. I mean, it's so hard to really analyze these rookies, these guys that are coming out of college, especially now, guys that played for 2 or 3 different teams and all this money involved and all these other things. So obviously they are pros at what they do, but it's hard to kind of know what a guy's really about until he's here, right? And what and with the team and see what they're really about.
Today, John said that it's very apparent that Saleh has grown schematically as a coach in the time that he was away. Have you had a chance to sit down with him yet and talk defense, and have you observed really the same thing over the years?
Yeah, no, we sat down and talked early on after he got here and kind of talked a little bit about how things have progressed on both sides. Him over with the Jets and us here, and we didn't talk too much about X's and O's, just kind of more so just kind of catching up. But I mean, I've always believed that Saul is one of the best in the game, if not the best. In terms of just coaching defense and knowing scheme and talking ball, just what I'm saying, just like understanding the game. So he understands that you can't just continue to run the same thing and expect different results. Like, you got to evolve, obviously, right? And so, he mentioned that today, just in terms of just evolving as a group and as a scheme and different things that we're running, and ultimately just being the best version of ourselves when the time comes.
Fred, you mentioned that the offseason's been longer than you would like, but have you found positives in that in terms of, like, did you feel like your body maybe needed this, and how are you feeling in terms of the ankle?
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel great. Ankle's a thing of the past now, thank God, because that was a tough, trying to deal with that all season, but feel great now. And yeah, there's positives to take from it, right? I just know how I would like my my off season to be, in terms of just having a ring on my finger, at the end of it. So it's just all about just using the time that you have wisely, and I'm never gonna complain about having that extra time with my family. My little man now, he's running around and stuff, so it's kind of just crazy just seeing that evolution too. So yeah, I mean, the off season's great, but I'm excited to be back and get things rolling again.
And you didn't need any procedure or anything on the ankle; it was just time.
That's right.
Christian was saying that he's been asking some guys that are dads about, questions now that it's coming. Has he come to you? Now that you're a big veteran with
No. We haven't had that talk yet, but we'll sit down tomorrow and we'll talk shop about fatherhood. But yeah, I'm excited for him, man. That's coming up, I think, pretty soon here for him. So I'm excited for him.
In the vein of fatherhood, or more so mentorship, knowing that you might have somewhat of a younger defense coming into this season, being that there's probably going to be a lot of the focus going into the draft tomorrow, having Robert Saleh come in, who's also been evolving in the game of defense, how are you feeling about that going into the season? I'm super excited about it. Playing alongside younger guys, it keeps me young. Even though, I feel like I'm still young, but of course you start getting to 8+, they start calling you the old head, they start calling you Unc and all these other crazy things. So, but it does, we do need that, right? I mean, we talk about how much we lost this offseason and guys going other places, but we do need some youth, guys who are hungry for, that respect, for that, just trying to earn it, and just getting that edge back to us. The competitive aspect of it, all these spots opening up, guys being able to compete for different spots. It's much needed for our team in general, so I'm excited about it.
Do you like the fact that instead of being looked at as a Super Bowl champion, now you're looked at 6-11? They got rid of all these players, and they're kind of, I don't know if Niners will ever be overlooked, but people aren't expecting a lot. Do you like that?
Yeah, no, I never need more motivation to get up and be the best version of myself, or I think for our team as well. We never, even though we've been close to hitting the mountaintop, we've never actually surpassed it, right? And so teams have never looked at us as a Super Bowl champ because we haven't attained that yet, and that carries heavily on myself as it does with a lot of the other guys that have been here. But yeah, it is honestly about really being, the hunter instead of just being the hunted, right, at this point. So However we got to get it, I'm ready to do it by any means.
How important is it, whoever it is next to you at will, for it to be somebody who can fit the run with physicality and the sort of violence you talked about?
Yeah, I mean, everything's important, honestly. The run game obviously is a big part of that. I think that we lost some of that last season with just as a defense in general, and I know that'll completely get cleaned up. Having Saleh back and making sure we're clear cutting everything what the expectation is. But you got to be able to do it all in the run game, pass game, ball production. We talk a lot about that, especially today in our linebacker room, just about getting the ball. For not only for our defense but for our team. That's how you win games is that turnover margin. So you got to be able to do it all. It's a tough ask and a tall ask, but you got to be able to do it.
Business-wise, do you feel that you get a sense that they're going to release some funds your way by the end of the summer? And is this something you want done before week 1?
I mean, it seems like they're releasing plenty of funds as it is already. Like I'm not. I get paid plenty already, but listen, that whole part of it, I know they, on my agent and the team and all that, that'll all handle itself out. I'm just obviously ready to just go to work and be the best version of myself. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Brent.
Oh, no, that's okay, Fred, I was gonna ask a contract question.
Oh, thank you.
And it would have taken way longer. So.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Yeah.
Can I just ask you real quick? You mentioned the evolution of Robert. Obviously, things don't stay the same.
Uh-huh.
So, what kind of things do you think? What can evolve? How do you think they maybe change a little bit, if at all, with a second version of Robert?
I guess time will tell. I'm still learning, just like the rest of us, of exactly what the differences are going to be. But there's just a calming presence when he's standing up there. It brings me right back to when he was here back in 19, or what was his last year, 20. His last year being 20, and so I'm so excited and confident in what he'll deliver for us.
What is most important for you as far as messaging to some of the younger guys that are going to be on this defense heading into next season, just so that everyone's on the same page?
Yeah, just being ready to go, being a pro. That's what the message has always been. I think Saleh kind of hit it on the head today when something that he mentioned early in my career that he touched on today was holding the pen to your story. Don't allow somebody else to hold the pen. And that's in everything you do, whether it's on the field, in the cafeteria, in the meeting room. Just be a pro, be the best at what you do. And it's gonna be high competition. It's gonna be chippy. It's gonna be all those things, and you just got to prepare your mind, your body, your spirit for all that. And make sure you're the best version of yourself for when it comes.
It's early, but to have most of the guys here, including Brock, what kind of tone does that set in April when you guys are still months away from training camp?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just super important to everyone, right? And Kyle kind of touched on at the end of last season how he wanted everybody back, and just for the ability for us to train together and have that sacrifice early on to build this thing the right way. And it's great to see.